Hey there, this is Red. It's time for another episode of Red Plays. So we've still got Hulk out on the board and we're ready for some more Marvel Champions. Still sticking with Klaw Standard. There's a couple of rules I've missed in the last plays, which were kind of, I think they could have changed the outcome a little bit, but they're not horrible goofs, but they were still goofs nonetheless. So I've switched from doing things in the Klingon subtitles to starting putting little info boxes up in the corner. And then I would really strongly suggest that everybody checks out the comments, because in any playthrough, I really appreciate folks that go through and let me know when I make mistakes so we can reflect them there and get them into the videos. So that way people that see them later see where I mess up on a rule, because I've done that once before, or maybe more than once. But anyway, really appreciate everybody that watches the videos and points out the little things that I miss so we can get them corrected for the videos. So maybe the next time I play them correctly and you see them and maybe you play them correctly. So anyway, let's move on. We're still at Klaw. We're kind of in the 1-1. We're kind of even against the Klaw right now, and I really haven't got a great feel for Hulk taking it out on the Klaw. It's been kind of tough. Sometimes Hulk has bright, shiny, powerful moments, but then other times it's really like he's just struggling to do anything. So let's see how this play goes. This will probably be our last one against Standard Klaw. I think we might take it up a notch after that and see how we do against Expert Klaw. I don't have high hopes against Expert Klaw, so I'm feeling okay against Standard Klaw. Like I've got the ability to win. It's there. It's in my grasp, and I feel like it's a better than average chance to win. I've got a feeling when I go to Expert, that's not going to be the case. Anyway, let's get this one rolling and see how we go here. So we've got the Klaw out there. We've got our underground distribution. Let's make sure we're doing things right here. So we've got Klaw, we've got Standard, we've got Masters of Evil in there. We've got our defense network is out on the board. It's right there. There it is. Then we're going to flip to 1B. And we've got a discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put the minion into play, engage with the first player. Okay, so we're going to go looking for a minion. All right. So I was reading a little bit on Facebook recently. So if you guys are on Facebook and playing Marvel Champions, you should check out the Facebook group for Marvel Champions. It's pretty good, in my opinion. And somebody was asking about the story behind Marvel Champions. How good is it? And I definitely don't think it's like, there's a weapons runner. You're definitely not getting a lot of story out of this. There is a little story. I think if you take the time to read the text on these cards and kind of get into it, you can get a little bit of flavor for the scenarios. But if not, like right here, I'm throwing out the cards, it does become kind of mechanical in a way. But I personally feel like every little battle that I do is kind of like one of your Saturday morning cartoon episodes. Like it's where Hulk versus the Klaw. There's a little battle that's going to go on, and I'm in my own little multiverse for this battle to see how it goes. It's definitely not a game of this is not an MCU 2-hour feature-length film or even like a 3-part Avengers set of films. It's at a much smaller scale. So I think maybe if you look at Saturday morning cartoon or maybe even a single comic book type, usually I think these battles would run more than one comic book, maybe 2 or 3. But I think if you look at that scale, I think the story of a single game like this maps to about one of those. So that's kind of the way I think of it. You do what you do. You do you, but that's how I think of it. Anyway, okay. Enough of that. We got the weapons runner out on the table. He does not surge because he's coming from the discard pile and being put into play rather than being revealed. So that doesn't happen. So we're going to go over to Bruce Banner. We're going to get my 5 cards because we've got our setup done. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So what are we looking at here? So we have a very interesting... We have our Limitless Strength, which is great to get out at the beginning. We have our Suborbital Leap, which on the Team Covenant cast, another thing to check out if you haven't seen it. They've been calling it the Suboptimal Leap, which I love. That's pretty good call on that one. I could use that to take out the Defense Network, or I could Thunderclap and hit both the Klaw and the Weapons Runner, which I'm thinking is... We play so fast that I don't know that getting rid of threat is really in things that Hulk tends to do. using it for the Immortal Claw is important, but I don't think getting rid of the defense network, because I don't think we're ever really going to knock down underground distribution. So we'll let that go. The other option I could do is I could use Limitless Strength to get the Helicarrier out there, which would then allow me to play Thunderclap for 3, which is a very, very cool idea. I like that. All right, so if I do that, I do have, so I don't think I'll mulligan anything. I think we're okay. I could use Banner's ability to draw a card and get rid of a card, but I don't know that if I did that, I would actually do anything with that. Like, I think I'm all right the way that I am. So we're just going to run with this. We're not going to draw a card. We're going to go ahead and flip over to Hulk. We're going to use our Limitless Strength, which can only be used in hero form. So that's the thing to remember with this card. It's really, really tough to want to use that in when you're Banner. All right, so we're going to drop out a Helicarrier. So Helicarrier, just because I don't play them that often. Exhaust Helicarrier, choose a player, reduce the resource cost of the next card played by 1. All right, so we're going to use that on me, and that's going to make our Thunderclap is going to cost 2 now. So 1, 2. We're going to play Thunderclap, and Thunderclap is going to do 3 damage to 3 different enemies. All right, so that's going to be enough to take the weapons runner out, and we're going to do 3 to Klaw. So Klaw is going to go from 12 down to 9. All right. Mistake I made last play was I used a Yarnborn on the Thunderclap. That does not work because it's not an attack. So there's some weird rules about what's attacks and what's not attacks. Usually, if you look at your area effect stuff, it's not an attack. So your Thunderclaps, your Lightning Strikes, I think Ground Stomp for She-Hulk, things like that are not attacks. They're just damage that goes out. And things like Yarnborn that triggers off of an attack doesn't do anything for that. Okay. We'll attack with Hulk. Let's hit for 3. So he's at 9. He'll go down to 6. All right. That's not a huge Hulk round, but not a bad Hulk round. That's pretty average. All right. We're going to draw our massive 4 cards that Hulk gets. Now, I think that having Helicarrier and especially Avengers Mansion really helps with Hulk because of his hand size being so small. It really wants me to play the Leap. Because of his hand size being so small, he really can make use of some additional resources or other things being out there. All right, let's go over to the villain's turn. Villain's turn. First thing, we're going to put 1 threat on the main scheme. Second thing we've got going is Klaw is going to attack the Hulk. The Hulk's going to take it. Now, the Klaw gets 2 boost cards, and he's got an attack of 0, so he's going to boost up. Holy cow, he's going to do 5 there. But I'm actually happy to get that out of there because that's a very annoying card for the Hulk. So we take 5, but it was a good 5. It felt good to take that 5 damage, so we're okay with that. Now we need an encounter card. The encounter card is an Armored Guard, and I will remember the Armored Guard gets toughness. All right, very annoying. Okay, so that's the end of the villain's turn. We're over to the hero. So what are we doing hero-wise? Now we could... The Leap came back out as like it wants me to do the Leap so bad, but we're not going to do it. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 to get our combat training out. All right, and then we're going to use our Helicarrier to make our martial prowess cost 1 less, and then we'll use our Leap to pay for martial prowess. So martial prowess it's an interesting card because it generates a physical resource, but only for attack events. So things like that's again where it's important, like things like the Thunderclap is not an attack event. It's just a thing that happens. So don't actually get to use it. All right. Hulk's going to take the tough off the Armored Guard. Get ready to clean him up, and then we're going to be done. All right, we're going to draw our 4 cards. I'm going to untap. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now when the Hulk's attacking, he's 3 plus 1, so he's attacking for 4. That's another mistake I made recently was I didn't draw 1. But I did a drop kick. And then I had Hulk's Rage. Well, Hulk's Rage gives +1 attack like combat training does. So I shouldn't get that when I do things like a drop kick or like maybe like a haymaker or an uppercut. Those only count when I do my basic attack. So have to remember that also. All right, so we're back over the villains. Underground distribution is going to go up by 1. That's our first thing. Second thing is Claw's going to see Hulk out there, going to attack him. We're going to do 2 cards again, and Hulk's going to take it again. We're going to do, we're going to get 2. So he's going to hit us for 2, and then the weapons runner is going to come into play. All right, so he hits us for 2, and the guard's going to hit us for 1, and the weapons runner is going to hit us for 1. Because after we do the combat phase for the villain, then we do the combat phase for the minions, and they happen to be there. The weapons runner came in from a boost from the villain, but then he's there when the minions go off, so they hit me for 2. Jerks. Okay, now we need an encounter card. Counter card is, oh, he's going to scheme. Now I'm wishing those suboptimal leaps were still in there. All right, so he's going to scheme for, he normally schemes for 2. He's going to get a boost of 1, so he's going to scheme for 3, and we're up to 5 already. Okay. Now, good news is we've got a friend coming out here named Nick Fury. And he can't exactly help with that, but he can get us close to helping with things like that. So the other option is, oh, okay. So here's what I'm looking at. So now we're done with the villain's turn. We're heading over into our Hulk turn. So what we're looking at is we've got a Hulk smash, which is an amazing amount of damage. But we have to attack in order to do that, and we'd only have to pay 1 to do that. The other option is to get Nick Fury out there. So Fury could come into play. He could do his 4 damage and then 2 damage, and we could knock the Claw over to Claw level 2. So Hulk could take out the guard, and then Fury could come into play. One of his things is he can do 4 damage to an enemy, which would be the Claw, and then do 2 damage, which is his normal attack. That would take the Claw over to Claw level 2. We have to use all of our cards to do that. What are other options that we could look at? So one of the things is we can't get through the defense network to get the underground distribution out of the way. So we could bring Fury out. He can take 2 off. He could... I could use his ability to take 1 off, and we could get that out of the way, but then we don't have anything to get this out, and it's going to pop next turn. So I think that's going to pop next turn no matter what. We could bring Nick Fury into play and draw 3 cards, which seems to be a lot of people's favorite action to do with Nick Fury. But when I'm looking at the Hulk, I don't know. I would have to use everything, and then I would get 3 new cards, and I don't know that it would come up better than what I've got right now. All right, so with all of that said, what am I thinking? I'm thinking I'm going to Hulk smash. I think I'm going to use that to run over the armored guard and go into Claw and cause Claw to go to Claw 2. And I'll probably put my resourceful out there. So if I look at that, I can make my next card cost 1 less, and I can use this to play an attack event. So right now I would pay 1 to do a Hulk smash. So we're definitely not going to get Nick Fury out there. So we're going to set up a Hulk smash. Oh, wait a minute. If I only use physical resources. Oh, so the problem is I have to only use physical resources in order for it to get overkill. All right, so when you make a basic attack, get plus 10. If you paid for the card only using physical, it gets overkill. Well, that's annoying in a way because I'm going to have to use, because I want to save my resourceful, but I'm going to have to use it as the physical because I really want the overkill here. And that's the downside to playing some of these other cards. Well, I have to play this card, but playing a card like this in the deck is that it's not a physical, and I can't always trigger the things that take all physical. All right, so we're going to use our resourceful as a physical to trigger our Hulk smash because it's a wild, so we can say we're going to use it as a physical. So that's 3. We used all physical to pay for Hulk smash. So right now we're doing 3, 4, plus 10, 14. We're going to hit the armored guard with 14. So that means 11 is going to go through, which is going to take Claw over to Claw 2. All right, so when Claw 2 comes out, he's got 18 hit points. So we need a 10, 5 and a 2. That's 18. And we need our Immortal Klaw, which I think we went by already. I think it's in our discard. Where is Immortal Klaw? There it is. Immortal Klaw. All right, that's going to give him a temporary plus 10 hit points. That's been another thing I've been wondering about with Hulk is, do I just blow through the Immortal Klaw, or do I actually try to just get rid of it via taking the thread off of it? I'm also missing a very important piece of my table here. We need our reference jackalope there. There we go. Okay. All right. So we did our attack. We took Klaw out. We got the Immortal Klaw. Now he's going to scheme on his turn. Do I want to go over to Banner? Because if I go over to Banner, I would get to keep these cards. I think so, because then I can keep Nick going into next turn, and we can take out the Immortal Klaw. That sounds good. The bad thing is we're going to drop a lot of scheme. This is going to flip, and we're going to drop a bunch of scheme on it. So we get, because the 2 is going to make it flip. Then we're going to draw 2 plus a card plus 1 from the weapons runner. I think we can take that. Let's take that. All right. So we're going to go here. I'm going to use Banner's ability to draw a card and discard a card. Oh, dang it. Oh man, that is so rough. We're gonna get rid of Banner's Laboratory. All right, we're gonna be done, so we're gonna untap. That's so tough because I kind of want to get rid of the Hulk Smash and hold on to his Laboratory, but we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I didn't get any of my double resources. Well, we'll see if we can get one next round. Okay. Villain's turn. So this is going to be messy. We're going to get, because there's an acceleration, we get 2 on the main scheme, so this is going to pop. All right, so Underground Distribution's out, and we get our Secret Rendezvous. All right, so we're going to discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion comes out, and he's going to drop out, and then we've got 8 scheme, which we're going to fill up probably half of or more, depending upon what happens. All right, let's see which minion comes out. Not a minion, 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 not a minion. Ooh, darn it. Armored Guard. Okay, and he's going to get tough. Oh, okay, so next up, Klaw's going to scheme, so he schemes for 2. He's going to get a bonus of a boost. Oh, I'm going to have to discard a card at random. Okay, 2. Oh, watch it be Nick Fury, too. It's going to be Nick Fury. That's what's going to happen. He's going to mess up my chance to get rid of Immortal Klaw. Nick Fury's going to go away. That's what's going to happen. We'll see. All right, here's the card. The card is... Oh, it's a Thunderclap. Okay. Probably wasn't going to use that anyway. Well, I might have with the Armored Guard coming out. I don't know. Okay. He's going to scheme for 1. And the Armored Guard would... Well, he has 0 scheme, so he doesn't scheme for anything. All right. So now we need an encounter card. Ooh, we're actually getting kind of low on the villain deck there. So Masters of Evil. Discard cards from the encounter deck until a Masters of Evil minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engaged with the first player. All right. So things at this point are not looking good. That's how I'm feeling. Let's see if we can find a Masters of Evil. Hey, there we go. Tiger Shark. All right. Okay, so we're over to the hero side. So how's Banner going to pull this one out? We're going to draw a card. And we got a counter attack. All right. I think we're going to get rid of our Avengers Mansion because we're not going to play the Avengers Mansion. I think no matter what we do, we're not playing the Avengers Mansion. All right, so what are we looking at? Our problem that we have right now is we've got the Armored Guard with Tough on him. which there was this neat thing where we could potentially blow through and do a ton of damage to Klaw. We could have done 14 damage to Klaw. But the issue that we run into is that the tough is going to soak up all of that damage. All right, so we're going to flip over to Hulk. Boy, we're going to take some ugly damage because we can't take the scheme right now. We need to get rid of the Immortal Klaw. So we're going to use our next card is going to be one cheaper. And we're going to bring Fury into play. Fury is going to thwart 2 off of the Immortal, or we're going to use his ability because he's got 3 different abilities that you can call on. So we can remove 2 threat, draw 3 cards, or deal 4 damage. We're going to take 2 off of the Immortal Klaw. And then he's going to thwart. Use his thwart ability to take 2 more off the Immortal Klaw. And that's like doing 10 damage to Klaw, kind of. All right, so what are we doing with Hulk? So Hulk is definitely not thwarting. He has 0 thwart, and it has. That's another thing is one of the rules is you can't do an action unless it has effect on the game board. So the 0 thwart doesn't change the state of the game board, so I can't actually thwart with him, which is kind of an annoying rule. Though needs a little bit of clarification. Hopefully, the FFG team can cover that pretty soon. All right, so I think what we're going to do, so do I either hit Tiger Shark and knock him down a peg so I can take him out next turn? I think I need to take the tough off the Armored Guard because we need to work by that Armored Guard. All right, we're going to be done. I'm going to untap. We're going to draw 4 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, what do we got? We got Drop Kick. Drop Kick could be handy. Okay, villain's turn. What's going on? So we've got this, then we've got a boost over there. So we're putting 2 threat on the main scheme. It's up to 5 out of 8 already. The Klaw is going to come attack Hulk. And do I have Nick Fury step in front of this one or Tiger Shark? Tiger Shark's a guaranteed 3 damage. The Klaw could just do 1 if I draw badly. I think we'll have Nick Fury step in front of that one. What I don't want to end up with is some sort of stunned thing. All right, so we're going to get 2 cards. And our boosts are going to be 1, and a boost, which is exhaust each ally I control, which that's good then that I use Nick for that. So there we go. So Nick's going to take 2, which is enough to take him out. Fury, he doesn't go by Nick. Okay, so Fury's out, and then we're going to get attacked by everything else. So we're going to take 1, 2, 5 damage. So let's just flip this up, and we're at 14. Ow! All right. We need an encounter card, and we're down to 2 cards. Things are not looking good. I'm just about to say how things are not looking good, and now we have Inner Demons. All right, so it doesn't give me a choice. It says I have to flip. So I'm going to flip my identity over to Bruce Banner. All right, and then if you're Bruce Banner, discard 2 cards and then discard the obligation. Oh, I was thinking Dropkick was the thing to go with, but yeah, I think we'll... Oh, wow. All right, there we go. We're done with the villain turn. All right, so what are we looking at right now? We've got 14 damage on good old Bruce Banner there. I can use Bruce Banner's ability to draw a card and discard a card. So we will draw a Crushing Blow. So do we keep the Crushing Blow? So that is an attack event. This is not an attack event. I can't use the drop kick. Well, that's an attack event, so I could make it cost 1 less, use that to generate a resource for it. So I could do a drop kick. So there's a possibility that I hit the Armored Guard and then I drop kick Klaw. I like that possibility. So we're going to get rid of this card. All right, we're at 14 life, so we can't take much damage. We may have to defend on our round here. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to the Hulk. We're going to attack. We're going to hit the armored guard for 3. The armored guard's out. All right, next thing we're going to do is we are going to make our next card cost 1 less. We're going to use 1 for an attack event. So that makes, and this is 2 for our drop kick. So now we get to drop kick. And we paid only using physical resources. So we're going to deal 4 damage. And we're going to stun the enemy and draw a card. So 4 damage to Klaw. It's going to take him from 15, 16, 17, 18 down to 14. So let's get rid of this and flip that. And we're going to draw a card, which is our crushing blow, which is not going to do us any good. All right, we're going to be done. Oh, he's stunned too. Let's not forget that, because that is very important and what can help us actually live through the round. Okay, this is going to go away. We're going to untap our stuff. We're going to get 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, those are not the cards to get the strong round that we need in order to attempt to win this game. That's not it. All right, villain's turn. What's happening on the villain's turn? We're putting 2 threat on the main scheme, so it's at 7 because Masters of Evil is out there. Yikes. The Klaw would come attack the Hulk, but he's stunned, so he doesn't. All right, we're going to take 1 from the weapons runner, which is going to put us at 15 out of 18. All right, so then we've got Tiger Shark coming at us, and he's going to hit us for 18 out of 18, so we have to block that one. So we defend against that. Oh, he should have had a tough already from attacking last time. But I haven't hit him anyway, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. All right, so that is the end of the villain's turn. So what are we looking at going into the hero's turn? We have many, many problems here. Problem number 1 that we've got is I don't think we've got a way to do 14 damage, especially being tapped. That makes it kind of tough. The other thing is we're going to, because of the threat there, we're going to put 2 on that, and I can't get past that. And the Hulk is at 15 out of 18. So I think we're kind of at a game over state here. Let's see. Let's play it out just so we can see what happens when we play it out. We will, let's bring Brawn into play. So Brawn's going to cost 3. So we'll make him cost 2. I could give myself invulnerability. Is that going to help? No, it's not going to help me live through the round. All right. So there's that. That brings Brawn into play. Problem is I didn't have any attack event stuff, so that doesn't do me any good. Brawn can, when he attacks, so after, I think it's after Brawn attacks, remove a threat from a scheme, so he can ping the Klaw for 1, and then we can take a threat off of there, so it's down to 8. And then we end up being done because there's nothing more that we can do. Draw back up to 4, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's a limitless strength. And then game's over because we're going to scheme up at the beginning, put 2 on there, and then we hit our 8. So Klaw just beat us in standard mode. Damn it. All right. So what are we learning? There is games where Hulk comes out of the gate really strong and can take Klaw out really fast. I think that's possible. In a sustained game, it's tougher for the Hulk to play. I think especially using the aggression setup because of the cards that he gets. I think there's got to be a way to tweak the deck in order to make that better. I just haven't found it yet. So, all right. So that's going to be it for our Hulk versus Klaw on standard. We're going to try and take it up to expert and see maybe if we get one of those draws. These are games where I definitely think Hulk can win. It's not that Hulk can't win. It's just that I think your odds, I'd say I'm maybe 50-50, I think, with Hulk, depending upon what I draw as to whether I get the win or not. It just depends on what drops on the table. I think any game that tends to go long definitely decreases Hulk's odds of winning. Like, if I would have pulled a big hit there out at the end, I could have taken him out, right? All I needed was limitless strength and one of my big slams, and he would have been gone. So limitless strength and the Hulk smash at this point would have taken the Klaw out. So it's not that he's not out of reach, but you have to get the right cards in order to hit him, and it's tough to do when you're drawing 4 cards. So that's where getting things like Avengers Mansion out there helps, or even getting things out of your deck. Like, I know some people don't like these enhanced physiques and stuff like that, but you can get those out of your deck, so therefore when you rotate through, you're not going to draw them again and get things on the board. So, all right, I think that's it for Klaw Standard. We're going to jump up to Klaw Expert, and I don't have good feelings about that. I think that's going to go badly. I think I'm probably about 50-50 now, and I think that's going to drop dramatically as I jump into Klaw Expert. So we'll see in the next episode. Let me know if I missed any rules, and thanks for watching.